Pond jets can have quite a number of useful benefits. In this video I want to discuss those benefits, the placement of the jets, the types of jets, and the use of efficient pumps or compressors to power the jets. If you don't already know me, my name is Kev, and the aim of my channel is to help people build and maintain a pond without spending a fortune. If that sounds like something that interests you, you might like to subscribe and visit my website, ozponds.com. So jets certainly aren't necessary in most average backyard ponds, but they can provide certain benefits. Firstly, they'll obviously improve circulation. The aim of the game is to move water through filters, whatever the type of filter may be. I recently made a video on different types of filtration, but here's a quick overview on how it looks on most of my ponds. There's a pump that sits in an intake bay or a skimmer, and that pulls water in off the surface of the pond and helps keep the surface free of debris like leaves. The intake bay or skimmer also protects the pump by stopping larger materials from clogging it up. This water is then pumped to a bog filter, which purifies the water and keeps it looking clean, clear, and more importantly, healthy. And if the pond has an unusual shape, water might find it hard to constantly circulate, and this may result in debris not making it to the skimmer and then sinking to the bottom of the pond. A jet in this area can help push water back out into the middle of the pond, where it's more likely to be pulled over towards the skimmer or intake bay. A second benefit is that the water that came out of the jet has also been filtered. The sponges or pebble that is pre-filtering the water before it reaches the pump is there primarily to prevent the pump from getting clogged, but it will also be growing bacteria that help purify the water, just like that in the bog filter. A third benefit is agitation. When water and air come in contact, oxygen is exchanged. Everything living inside the pond requires oxygen, and having constant agitation will help this occur. Good oxygen exchange supercharges your pond's filtering ability. In cold climates, this agitation can help prevent the water freezing over completely, and in warm climates, oxygen saturation is just as important as warm water holds less oxygen. When it comes to the placement of your jets, you can place them in any area where you want more flow. So as I already mentioned, areas that will likely become dead zones. Areas where you don't want debris to settle, maybe a beach entry on a swimming pond. And I think jets are better placed near the surface. That way they optimize that oxygen exchange, and in winter it allows the warm water to remain in the bottom of the pond, and in summer it doesn't push that warm water into the cooler bottom. Basically, the bottom water is more stable as it's not mixing with the air, which fluctuates often, night and day, summer and winter. There is a process called turnover in natural bodies of water. This can cause issues, but it shouldn't be something that you need to worry about in a backyard pond with good water movement and filtration. Another consideration when thinking about placement is the type of plants that you're planning on keeping and where they'll be positioned. Water lilies don't like lots of flow, whereas plants like eelgrass love it. Fish are the same. Some fish love flow and lots of water movement, and some don't. A common is quiet at home in lots of flow, whereas a fancy goldfish, not so much. Another important part of placement is the pump. I strongly believe that the pump should always be placed in the skimmer or an intake bay. A few times I've used small solar pumps to try and create little jets. The problem is the pump is sucking water in from the same area as it's pushing water out from. So there's a loop that gets created, and it doesn't provide much benefit apart from some agitation. But when the pump is inside the skimmer or intake bay, the water is being drawn into this area and the jet is pushing it out into the current. It's much more effective for the overall circulation, plus that added filtration benefit I mentioned earlier. So when it comes to pumps, I like low volt variable speed models, but because jets aren't critical to the filtration, you could also run them on solar or even a timer. Also, because you aren't required to pump the water up to the filter, you're just circulating water at water level, you can easily use air to push water around your pond. I'm hoping to do some experiments in the future with air pumps. At this stage, it's not something that I've got any first-hand experience with, so I encourage you to do some further research if that's something that you'd like to explore. When it comes to different types of jets and flow rates, there's quite a few options. My first DIY jets on my drain pond were a simple 20mm valve that's teed off from the main plumbing line. Since then I've added these little adjustable nozzles, and this is cool as I can angle the jet left, right, up or down depending on what I want. You also might like to add a venturi. Venturis help mix water and air. But if you use air pumps to power your jets, you'll create the same effect. For flow rates, I allowed around 2,000 litres per jet on my drain pond, but the pump is dialed back to about 50%, so the flow rate's probably a little over 1,000 litres per hour per jet, and that seems to be sufficient to push the debris about a metre, maybe 1.2 metres, out into the pond where the intake bay current can pick it up and pull it in. On larger ponds, you would increase the flow rates and the jet size. Each jet has a valve, so I can regulate the flow if I want more in a certain area or less in another spot. I'll put some links in the description to efficient pond pumps, jet attachments, and venturis. Plus, you can always visit ozponds.com for helpful products and guides to help you build and maintain a pond without spending a fortune. Anyway, I hope listening to me ramble on about jets in a pond was somewhat helpful. If it was, feel free to tickle the thumbs up button. Thanks for watching. See ya.